What's up, B2? Capital G here. So, a new Machina card got revealed during the Burst of Destiny livestream, which was a little bizarre to me. Not the card itself, but that Konami revealed just kind of a singular piece of legacy support for Machina. Usually, when they reveal these cards for the live stream, it's multiple cards for like a legacy archetype. But I digress. Anyways, this is Machina Ruin Force, which obviously it's supposed to be like the dark counterpart to the old school Machina Force, which was never a good card. So at least this one will, I mean, by default, it's probably better. And it's the card that you see in the background in Machina Overdrive if you play like the Earth Machine deck or Machina. It's a level 10 in Dark Machine. Don't see a ton of Dark Machines because I think Machina is Earth attributes. But yeah, I'm pretty sure the entire archetype is Earth. This is 4600 attack, 4100 defense. Cannot be normal summon / set. Must be special summoned from the graveyard by banishing any number of machine monsters from your graveyard whose total level equals 12 or more. You can only use this card's first and second effects as hard once per turn. First effect, when your opponent activates a card or effect during the battle phase. Quick effect, you can pay half your life points, negate the activation, and if you do, half your opponent's life points. Second effect, if this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon up to 3 of your banished Machina monsters whose total level equals 12 or less. So I think that this card's summoning condition, like, it looks really nice, although I think it probably would have been a little easier to use if it's summoned from the hand and not the graveyard. Don't get me wrong, obviously getting this card in the graveyard, if it's in your hand or if you search it, it's not like, you know, super difficult, because I know that Machina and I guess the Earth Machine deck, they do play ways of getting cards out of their hand. Like they play Machina Fortress. There's also the redeployment, which requires a discard to like search 2. So either one of those can get this guy in the graveyard. Now, once it's in the graveyard, I think summoning it is going to be super easy, because then you're just basically banishing probably 2 machine monsters. And interesting enough, like, it's not just Machina that can do this easily, because we know a lot of the new good Machina monsters, the ones that came from the structure deck, are fairly high level. Your Citadel and, you know, your Metal Cruncher. So just banish maybe those 2 and you could easily summon this. But honestly, I think you could even run this in something like maybe Trains, maybe not like turn 0 or the first turn, but definitely after that. And I guess you could get it into the graveyard with Revolving Switchyard. But yeah, you know, archetypes like Trains, some people have even talked about Super Heavy Samurai. The point that I'm making is there's a lot of machine decks out there that can use this. Hell, maybe even like Cyber Dragons can summon it from the graveyard if you can get it there. The first effect, the negation effect, it's cool, but it does kind of, like, it's a little bit of a bummer that it is restricted to the battle phase. I do like the fact that potentially if you do resolve that effect and you have an attack with this card, you might be able to kill your opponent. Because let's say that you are to, I don't know, battle traps, people don't really play those anymore, so let's just, you know, take those out of consideration. Let's say that you were to run over a monster that floats, like a Burning Abyss monster, maybe a Dante, a Beatrice. Maybe you happen to attack over a Set Shadow or, you know, an Ultrageist Melusi, something that's going to trigger in the battle phase. Well, you can pay half your life points, you can negate that monster, and then more than likely your opponent's going to be under 4,000 attack, which puts them in the danger zone just to die, because this card is, I mean, it's well over 4,000, 4,600. You can just kill your opponent in one attack. Hell, if your opponent has Solemn, just this card alone is enough to do game. This card does float also upon destruction. This is probably where the Earth Machine deck is going to shine. I think it would be really cheeky to banish maybe like a Citadel to summon this card, and then if your opponent kills it, then you just get to summon Citadel back from your banish pile, and then your Citadel also can blow stuff up, you know, during your opponent's turn. So then you get a monster, and then you also like get disruption. I think it's very important that this card is level 10, because the Earth Machine deck ideally wants to go to, from what I've seen, it ideally wants to, you know, summon Dreadnought Dora in its first turn. Obviously, Earth Machines want to do that because, or excuse me, the rank 10 Trains, they obviously want to do that because it's like one of their boss monsters. So it's definitely a nice little card. I wish it would have been hand or graveyard. I think that would have been Probably a lot better, but from the graveyard is not the worst thing ever. Either way, this is probably what the original Machina 4 should have been, because that card was like damn near unplayable, and at least this card definitely has some positives. I think it's a one of at max because so many of those Machina cards are highly searchable, so you can get to them whenever you want. Anyways, whatever you guys think of Machina Ruin Force, do leave it in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching as always.